Hello and welcome to Dad and Dad Stories 5-word challenge, which this week we have an international edition. So, we do have a little bit going on, but we are committed to completing our challenges, and after this one we have 2 more to do. And then we'll pause for a little while because there's a little bit going on at the minute, and we need to make sure that we can do these stories properly. So, the story today, the words were provided by Ceddie, aged 5, from Gütersloh in Germany. Dankeschön, Ceddie, and the words we were given for this story are as follows.
Wood, crisps, glove, herbs, television.
So, listen out for the jingle when those words appear in the story, but the story's title is The Most Important Goal. Ceddie didn't watch much television, although he did like watching the Dad and Dad Stories YouTube channel on the big screen.
No, what the boy loved most was football. In fact, he would quite often be seen kicking anything really, as long as it had a bit of a bounce so that he could practice his keepy-ups.
Even an orange. Whether it was sunny, windy, rainy, or snowy, Ceddie would be out in the garden kicking the ball around, pretending to be the players from his favourite football team, FC Gütersloh.
His mum would often be heard by the neighbours shouting, "Be careful of my plants!" Well, except on Sundays, as that was meant to be a quiet day in Germany. After school, one day, the boy's mum was preparing dinner, and as the boy grabbed his football to go outside, Ceddie, "Can you get me some herbs from the garden, please? I need parsley, mint, and some thyme."
Got it, he replied, running out of the door, as if emerging from the tunnel and onto the pitch to the cheers of thousands in the stands. A few minutes passed, and then a few more, the dinner bubbling on the stove. The boy's mum sighed and went to find where her son had got to with those herbs she'd asked him to get.
"Ceddie, what are you doing? I need the things I asked you to fetch for me, or the dinner will spoil," she called out, sounding rather frustrated.
The response she got did make her laugh, though, as the boy came out from behind a bush and said, "I can't find the time. There isn't a clock out here anywhere. I need extra time," Ceddie told her, looking rather puzzled.
"And penalties, I suppose. Never mind. I'll get it. Just give me the parsley and mint, and go wash your hands and clean yourself up, or you'll miss the football," she said, still giggling.
Ceddie really enjoyed watching his team play, and the ground wasn't far from where he lived either. Dressed in the club's home shirt of green and white, and with scarf in hand, the excited boy was ready to go.
One of the reasons.
Don't you mean 3?
Oh, yes. 3 of the reasons why he liked going to watch the football was that he always was allowed a fizzy drink, a packet of crisps, and some fries with lots of mayonnaise.
Football days were good days, but today was extra special, and the excitement had been building around the town all week, as despite all the odds, FC Gütersloh had reached the quarter-finals of the German Cup.
You could feel the tension in the ground before kick-off, though. But supporters and players now looking rather nervous as they prepared for the referee to blow their whistle and get the game underway.
It was not a good first half either for the home side, as passes went astray, and there was not one single shot on target either.
Their goalkeeper, however, had been really busy, making save after save, and somehow managed to keep the score at 0-0 as the referee blew the whistle for half-time and the players left the field.
Ceddie, still with mayonnaise around his mouth from all the fries he had eaten, was frustrated as he kicked the ground. "Ow!" he said, before continuing with, "I hope we play better second half, as that was rubbish."
As the players came out for the second half, there seemed to be a different atmosphere in the ground. It was almost as if someone had hit the reset button.
Everyone was more relaxed, a realization that they had nothing to lose, and having come so far together, they couldn't go out like this.
As the second half got underway, the fans, including little Ceddie, were jumping up and down, singing songs. The players feeding off the energy from the stands as they began to play their football for the first time in the match so far.
FC Gütersloh were now on top, with wave after wave of attacks. He may have been busy in the first half, but the goalkeeper was now so bored that he was doing yoga and practicing his ballet steps, as he simply had nothing to do.
It was the midway point of the second half, and despite all the pressure, the home side had yet to score. But in the blink of an eye, Kevin Freiberger was put through on goal, only the keeper to beat, or so he thought. He set himself ready to shoot when
Bang!
a defender somehow gets back and makes the challenge, sending the striker tumbling to the ground.
The tackle was late. It was a foul, and it was in the box. The referee blows the whistle and points to the spot.
Penalty!
Kevin picks himself up and puts the ball on the spot. Ceddie said he couldn't watch, but was clearly peeking through his fingers. Now was Güterslow's chance.
The ref blows. The striker starts his run up, but leans back as he strikes the ball and balloons it so far over the bar that it was spotted travelling past the International Space Station.
The groans from the stands echoed all around, and the little boy lets out a shout of, "That was rubbish! I could have scored that."
The game went rather dull after that missed opportunity. The crowd deflated.
That was until added time, when Kandich broke down the wing following a loose ball. Gütersloh players rushing forward with all they had left. The cross comes in. Probst rose highest and headed the ball towards goal.
Boing!
It hits the underside of the crossbar, and everything goes in slow motion as the ball drops and bounces before being cleared by a defender.
But was it over the line? Tell me! This is tense.
The ref blows the whistle and points to the centre circle. Goal!
Ceddie and the rest of the crowd jump up and down and all around FC Gütersloh with only seconds to go. We're in the semi-final of the German Cup, where they would be travelling to neighbours Borussia Dortmund of the Bundesliga. After the game, Kevin Freiberger came over to the little boy, lifted him over the barrier onto the pitch and said, "Okay, show me how you took a penalty."
The boy puts the ball down, runs up and confidently kicks the ball into the bottom corner of the net before turning back to the striker and saying, "It's easy, really. You pick your spot, keep your head down and hit it. It works every time."
Kevin chuckled and replied, "Wonder why I haven't thought of that," before giving Ceddie one of his gloves.
Being a bit confused, the boy looked at him, then at both his hands, and back again at the tall man, and said, "But I have two hands. What am I going to do with only one glove?"
"If I score a penalty next time using what you taught me, you can have the other one," the striker replied before jogging with Ceddie off the pitch.
True to his word, at the next home match, Kevin did score a penalty, tucking it into the corner, just how the little boy had taught him.
And he celebrated by running over to Ceddie and pulling the other glove out of his sock and handed it to the waiting child, giving him a high five in the process.
Finally, the big day arrived. Ceddie woke early, as he was super excited, but also to get his jobs done before the game. He had to tidy his bedroom for a start and collect wood for the log burner.
He was so excited. He had ants in his pants and couldn't sit still, but eventually it was time to leave.
Coaches decorated in green and white left in convoy from the town of Gütersloh and headed to the city of Dortmund.
As for the game itself,
there were no miracles. Dortmund won the match and went to the final. But what a day! What an adventure!
And what an important goal that was in the quarter-final to have kept the dream alive for that little bit longer.
The end.